All right, it should be. We live now, Mr. Hip Hop Vegan, coming with another video. And in today's episode, presented by Monsanto, um, I got a marvelous on the other side. Say what's up.
What's up, people? What's up?
Today we got a pretty funny how you say it. I think it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be funny, hilarious. Hater, I smell a hater coming through, but that's a different story. But I want to start off with Hillary Clinton. They say I think she did she win the Democratic side yet, or that's still going through?
Bernie's still in denial, but that's pretty much a done deal.
So it's a wrap, right? Hillary Clinton got it.
That's a wrap. This should have been declared, but Bernie, he wants to give hope to the people, false hope.
So why do you think Bernie Sanders had no chance? You think he's just not strong enough or powerful enough, or just that Hillary Clinton is just people? She's on that white side more than Bernie Sanders is because the power that she has with her husband and all the stupid shit that she's done to be where she's at. You think just the powers that be put her in control?
Of course, she's a Clinton, Bush, and now Obama's. These is good workers for the people that run stuff. She put her work in.
Well,
She's seen a lot of
Obama came out of nowhere though.
He did. Did a video on that. He was the hope. People didn't want to see Caucasian males run the country because of Bush. So, they had to switch up. New face of evil. That's all it is.
So at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton got it. I mean, you think she's gonna make any changes? Is there ever gonna be any change in voting, or is she gonna be another puppet like always, just out in the news and making false promises?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be a very good puppet. You're gonna see a lot of changes. Your gun laws is gonna get more restricted. You're gonna see more scripted terrorist events. So she's about to really, really bring it home. All of the stuff people was worried and concerned about. It's about that time. She's gonna nail it in.
So at the end of the day, coming November, first female president.
First female president, new face of evil. Congratulations, Hillary. She's gonna do a good job. She sent tons of blackmail through her husband, blackmails to jail. So yeah, congrats. You have your first female president, new face of evil.
Man, I was
Love
kind of upset, man. How is Bill Clinton doing Muhammad Ali's eulogy? I don't understand how they picked Bill Clinton to do Muhammad Ali's eulogy. What's your thoughts on that?
You see, I said the same thing. See, that's that Clinton marketing. Of all people, Muhammad Ali would never stand for that. The picture they show with him getting the medal with George Bush?
Yeah.
What they don't show is that George Bush extended his hand and Muhammad Ali left him hanging. He didn't shake his hand. And at the end, he said, still a nigga. So I don't know how Clinton, I'm telling you, this is how the powers that be work. Black people, they fight the system, and then when they die, they praise them and then they claim them as their own. That's why you always see Muhammad Ali belongs to all of us. After you give him the shakes and he dies, it's Clinton marketing, man. Clinton marketing. That's why.
I know you a couple of couple of hangouts ago, you brought up Tommy Sotomayor. Did you watch his latest video, him talking about Muhammad Ali?
I'm not a fan of him, so I don't really watch him that much.
He made a whole 9 minute video talking Muhammad Ali, man.
Yeah, well, my opinion, never met him. Self-hating Negro, you know.
Unless if he hates Tariq Nasheed, right?
Nah, it's 2 points that I'll agree with him on. Not even with Tyreek, but he did play that clip with his own voice, his own words. It's in the podcast. You can pull it up. So that's one. And then two, the black woman thing, he ODs on that. Some of them are angry, but he's over the top. He's one of those people that I'm sure has been burned. So we'll do another video on him.
So Hillary Clinton, the whole Clinton administration. I feel I don't know how they get to handpick Bill Clinton to do that. I mean, out of all the people, they could have got, so many people out there other than Bill Clinton uh, to do that. I mean, why is that? I mean, did he
Because
have?
it's season, man. It's Clinton season. Clinton season. He's gonna be the first man.
Now, who
that's
picked him to do it?
that's a good question. I'm still looking at that.
Doesn't the family members pick a person to do a eulogy? I know there's not no secret spoof out there that says, you know what, Bill Clinton, you're doing his eulogy and that's it. Isn't that like something the family picks?
Um, yeah, but you know how it is when you don't have a male successor, and it's mostly women. They're probably folded pressure. You know,
You think his daughter, was that Layla Ali, is gonna let that pass?
oh, man. Of course, he has like how many daughters? No sons. I'm sure if it was a son or heir, he would be bugging right now. Like, nah, we can't do this. And that's why a lot of these individuals don't have sons left. They either get killed off, grandsons killed off. So stupid shit like this won't happen if the sons was alive.
So you saying that if he had a man in the family as far as a son, it would have been a different story?
Of course. By far. You think if Farrakhan dies, Bill Clinton's gonna be at his eulogy? You know
The
what I'm
way it's
saying?
going, it might be Donald Trump might do his eulogy.
It might be. You never, things aren't like they used to be. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know who picks. And then not only that, it's not just Bill Clinton. Who are, it's is it Billy Crystal or somebody like that? Some other comedian I think is also going to be speaking. You got Will Smith as a
Yeah,
pallbearer.
Will Smith is a pallbearer.
Lennox Lewis is a pallbearer.
Lennox Lewis was a great champion, so you can't really hate on Lennox Lewis.
This shit is Wag the Dog, man. It's a big ass circus.
Yeah, you hating on Lennox Lewis, man?
Big ass circus, man. Big ass
Well,
circus.
who's supposed to? I mean, who's supposed to carry him then?
Iron Mike, man. Come on. Or Floyd Mayweather. The real champions.
Mayweather was hating on Ali before he passed away.
So then it got to go to Iron Mike Tyson.
Well, maybe he didn't want to do it. We don't know the
Poss-
backstory.
Possibly. All this shit is a circus. In fact, I don't know who the Ali family had ties to because I was looking at the Miami Marlins had posted that he died 2 hours before it was official.
Yeah,
And the owner of the Marlins was like, well, we're close to the family, so that's how we got word.
yeah.
So I don't know what kind of ties that he got or his family has to the people that's not black, you know? But this Clinton thing is definitely to push Hillary being in office. Because come on, what other reason would you have Bill Clinton doing Muhammad Ali's eulogy? It doesn't add up. This
I
is
don't,
Clinton marketing.
I don't get it, man. But on to the next story. Hillary Clinton. So she wins.
What happened?
So Hillary Clinton, she wins.
Hillary got this hands down. In fact, I'm even go as far as to say that there might even be assassination attempts on either Trump or Barack.
Nah,
Trump isn't getting in. I promise you. It's not going to happen.
what's not gonna happen?
Trump's not getting in. There's no way.
Isn't he white hope? Didn't you put him as the white hope for the white man?
Exactly. So your average four white males, he's the white Barack Obama, you know? He's the white Barack Obama, but he's not going to get in talking about eliminating the feds, and it's not going to happen.
Yo, did you cut off?
It says video isn't working.
That's
Can
on
you
you. Just keep talking. I can hear you talk, so you good.
all right. Yeah, Trump's not getting in. That's a wrap. I promise you.
All right, so let's talk about the next subject. People say he's the greatest basketball player ever on the planet. People say one of the best athletes, better on the planet. I think they even put him above Muhammad Ali as one of the best athletes ever. and that's your friend Mr. Michael Jordan. I know you had a lot to say about him. And first of all, why you think Michael Jordan don't like hip hop?
Um, I think he's another self-hating Negro. He's someone that he doesn't identify with his culture or his blackness. So hip hop is on a reasonable a reminder of that culture. He hasn't really done much for his culture or his identity in terms of being black. So I think that's the main reason. Plus, he knows that if he identifies with anything that's seen as not acceptable, it'll definitely take away from his image and his endorsements.
Even for a person who as big as Michael Jordan, you think if tomorrow he says, you know what, I'm going to accept my black side and actually do accept it, you think he will lose a lot of endorsements and won't make the same amount of money that he's making now?
He will lose his life. It can't happen. He makes too much money for the world, for tons of businessmen, for him to make that kind of claim. He would have to do it undercover.
Now, I was listening to a conversation. They say he's the number one recognized person in the world, and that's why he is the way he is because he can't really do anything without people really noticing him. So, do you believe just because of his status, and that's the reason why he has to really just stay to himself and not really promote him being his black side?
Nah, in fact, that's a cop out. It was a book. I think it was called Fast Food Nation, and in the intro, it was talking about branding and marketing. And the time the book was written, it said that the most recognizable faces on planet Earth was Jesus, Santa, and Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali is the definition of the athlete that speaks out for truth and justice and his culture and his identity as a black man. So if he was recognized as the most recognizable face on earth, and Jordan now has that title, he has someone older than him that has the blueprint, who was recognized as the greatest, the most recognizable, and laid the blueprint for how to stand your ground and survive. So definitely, I don't think that's the reason.
So, what's your thoughts about Michael Jordan? I know you have like a big segment to talk about him. Why you think he acts the way he acts toward black people?
Um, because I'm not going to say he doesn't see himself as black, but I think he sees himself more as um, a cultural icon. He sees himself as belonging to the people and to the world. So he doesn't want to marginalize himself to one sect of people, even though he belongs to that racial class.
But you think him being black and for having the money that he has to give back?
Um, in my personal opinion, of course, but outside of my personal opinion, technically, no one has to give back anything. If you earn it, you got it, you know. But when you have black males losing their lives over your sneaker, when you have Nike saying that in the quarters in which they lost money, um, the only times they made money was in places like Harlem and Brooklyn and in these urban neighborhoods, mostly off the sale of Jordans and Air Force Ones. Yeah, you definitely need to give back because you're the first black, you're the first athletic billionaire, and that's largely because of the support of black males. Period. And if you don't recognize that, you blind. So yeah, just off that, you need to give back.
You want to hear something crazy? It's not about Michael Jordan, but Kanye West gave French Montana a pair of white Yeezys that just came out, and it should I think it's like the only pair of white Yeezys. And French Montana was offered $25,000 for the white Yeezys. What you think about that?
Wow. Um,
And he didn't sell them, so you can tell that 25,000 is nothing to French Montana.
no, it's not. We live in this kind of consumer culture where sneakers is put a premium over intelligence. So things like that are bound to happen. I'm not even surprised. You know, we had people that wanted to spend more than that for George Zimmerman's gun.
But don't you think this sneaker game, hip hop, really created this sneaker game, and he's not giving enough credit to the hip hop community because if it wasn't for the hip hop community, this sneaker game I don't think would be as big as it is now.
Well, that's partially true, but that whole culture was crafted by corporate America and the NBA. You know what I mean? Like you got to really attribute the marketing campaign of David Stern and the NBA over hip hop actually as to why Jordans are so big. First, because hip hop was out before Jordan. You know what I mean? So it was, and this is going to get into the topic. Hip hop was out before Jordan. He was buying clothes before Jordan. Hip hop was always fashionable. But because of David Stern and the NBA and the direction they had to go, they had to find a figure in order to mold this new NBA around. And Jordan just so happened to be it. So that was the foundation and the main reason why Jordans are as big as they are today, above hip hop.
But Jordans too. But I mean, just the whole sneaker game in general. Don't you think hip hop was the main impact on the sneaker game being so big?
It became one main impact, but I don't think it's the main impact because even though a lot of black people buy Jordans, a lot of people buy Jordans of all cultures, and
I
that is
didn't.
because
Yeah,
of the more.
I
Huh?
didn't say black people. I said just hip hop people who listen to hip hop generally.
But even people that's not into hip hop, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that go to NBA games, that went to NBA games, that watch Jordan, that don't even listen to hip hop. You know, I don't think he made $1 billion largely because of hip hop. I think it was because of NBA culture, David Stern, and the marketing campaign of building this icon
But
as big.
I'm talking about sneakers in general. I mean, any type, not only Jordan. Um, you got to understand. Run DMC was the first rap group to get $1 million deal from a sneaker company.
Yeah,
There's no other genre of music that people got shoe deals because of what music they were into. So I think hip hop really promoted the sneaker game. No matter if it was Jordans, Nikes, Adidas, Reeboks, Filas. I think hip hop just had a big impact on sneakers.
yeah, definitely had a big impact. But I don't think you should lump Jordans in that. I don't because there's no other sneaker that had the impact of Jordans like Jordans did. So if it was a hip hop thing, why aren't other sneakers selling like that?
There are sneakers that sell a little bit better than Jordans. It's just that Jordan's been out longer.
If I'm well, the only ones that I know that came close to selling like that was because was the Air Force Ones. I can't think consistently over the years which sneakers came close to selling more than those two. And that's a
It,
Nike thing. You know what I mean? If you look outside of Nike, what are people wearing in terms of sneakers?
oh man, the sneaker game is big, man. Adidas is popular again.
They fell off.
Adidas, are you crazy?
Coming back. Nobody was buying Adidas in the late 90s.
Adidas, but they coming back now again. The running shoes that they have, the sneaker game, Adidas, Reeboks are coming back again. Even Feli's are coming back again.
But you see what I'm saying? Again, there was one point where I think Reebok was about to go out of business. Adidas, the same thing. Feli, nobody was buying Feli. So all of this is a resurgence. That's because of hip hop. But in terms of the sneaker culture, I can't even think of any sneaker that had a dominant reign, even with hip hop, other than Nike. I think it's a sneaker culture is big because of hip hop, but a lot of these sneaker companies were failing for a long time, and that's partly because of Jordan and Nike. Even with the rise of hip hop and sneaker culture, it was really Nike.
Yeah, but Nike been the most popular sneaker I think since it came out.
Um, that's not even true, and that's what I'm saying. Like
That's not
it's
true. What was
before,
bigger than Nike since it first came out?
nah, before Jordan, the predominant sneaker wasn't Nike. Nike had trouble. They were struggling. In fact, if you look at even hip hop, the fact that you mentioned Run DMC, they didn't even hold up Nike. They held up Adidas. And the
That's
hip
what I
hop
said.
culture, it was Bally's, it was whatever the drug dealers wore. They set the tone. It was Bally's, it was Diodoras, it was Fila's. It was those are street sneakers. That was hip hop. Hip hop is just a byproduct of the streets. People wasn't really rocking Nikes until um close to like years after crack came out. You know what I'm saying? When
Talking about
Jordans,
people who are rocking the Andre Agassi's,
I don't even know what they look like
and those are popular sneakers. You can't even buy Andre Agassi's right now. They're so popular.
right now. See, you doing because we live in a retro culture.
No,
Everything
right.
is like,
If you have a pair of Andre Agassi's from back in the days, you can get big money for it right now.
see, again, you're looking at the present. When you talk about hip hop culture and sneaker culture, you got to look at hip hop not just today because hip hop, I dare to say, hip hop is it's the predominant culture, but you don't even have bigger stars in hip hop like you did 10 years ago. You don't. So I can't even say that the impact is stronger than it was because a lot of the sneakers that's selling now are sneakers that came out 10, 15 years ago, retro.
Nah, the Yeezys are selling out.
What else?
You can't get a pair of Yeezys right now.
That's it. In fact, Kanye is the only one that I could think of, and Cameron. Um,
But
well, he
Cameron,
got
he only
yeah,
made he all the money that he made from his sneaker, he gave it away to charity. So
true.
he only made about 300 pairs of his purple ones.
What truly new sneaker is out that's selling? I could only think of Kanye.
You have to look deeper into just Kanye's. There's a whole bunch of Adidas right now that are selling out that you can't even get. There were SBs that were selling out. SBs are the what you call them, the skateboarding sneakers that were
Hmm.
popular back then. And those are not even retros. It just, I mean, the sneaker game is way. I know Jordans are the most popular ones, but the people who are really into the sneaker game, which I put myself not even close to being a top notch sneaker person. It's sneakers out there that we don't even know about that they sell out quick. They got some running shoes now that if some what do you call them, Adidas running shoes that sold out the first day. That you waited in line for some Adidas. Whenever in life have you waited in line for some Adidas?
But look what you're saying though. That's not hip hop. You mentioned skating culture, which isn't hip hop. You mentioned running culture, which isn't hip hop.
I'm talking about the sneaker game in general. A lot of these people they have the sneaker game,
Hmm.
but
But
hip
that's
hop
not
made it
hip hop
popular.
thing. You mentioned hip hop. It's not a hip hop thing.
It is a hip hop thing.
It's not. I can't even think of that many. I can't even picture skateboarding culture in hip hop.
What do you mean when your boy Lil Wayne was making skateboarding sneakers popular?
Like what? What
Kennedy,
shoe?
your boy the dude from the West Coast, Kennedy, who has his own pair of Supras, and he was in a rapper from the West Coast that is probably not that big, but his shoes sell out. His Supras.
Yeah, but how could you attribute that to hip hop culture? These individuals, Little Wayne hung out with
Are
all
you,
type of different people.
are you telling me right now that hip hop culture had nothing to do with the sneaker game?
Now, I won't say nothing to do with it, but I'm saying in terms of your question, the influence of hip hop on sneaker culture, I'm saying right now, cultures are so intertwined that you can't just attribute the sale of sneakers to hip hop outside of Nike.
A good thing that's your opinion. I have to disagree with that.
That's why I like references, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the skateboarding culture is not a hip hop thing. It became it, but you can't. You're telling me that running culture and skating culture, the sneakers that sell, running sneakers, skateboard sneakers, are largely, predominantly, mainly because of hip hop? Definitely not.
Number one, people buy them sneakers that don't even skateboard. The running sneakers that are becoming popular, people don't buy them because they run with them. They buy them so they can look hot with them, in because they look nice with the hip hop culture is making every type of sneaker look, making them better for other people, and it's a fact.
Now,
You might.
that's definitely your opinion. I see people of all types that I'm pretty sure they don't listen to hip hop that run all day and they use running sneakers. Definitely.
But hip hop has a main influence on sneakers, man.
Yeah, it does.
No matter what,
Predominantly through Nike. Predominantly through Nike.
do everything now.
Nah, that's a broad generalization.
Yo, you know me and the sneakers, man. That's all I watch every day is sneaker videos, man. And
Yeah, but are you seeing the culture that's influencing these sneakers? You're only saying hip hop.
hip
It's
hop is
like
that you thinking that I'm saying hip hop is only a black thing? There's white people who love hip hop who wear the sneakers. Um,
even if you subtract race, I'm talking about running culture. And I'm pretty sure that health right now is a big craze. Eating healthy and everything. And you got different kind of generations. You have Generation X, millennials. I see baby boomers that work out. Pretty sure they're not entrenched in hip hop. That definitely buy running sneakers.
can't be 100% that hip hop is just but hip hop has a main influence on sneakers right now.
It has a main influence on certain types of sneakers. You're making a broad stroke on sneakers in
Nah,
general.
all types of sneakers, man. I'm telling you.
I'm open to see references. I'm open to see which sneakers outside of Nike are selling the most and to see which demographics is buying those sneakers.
Go to there was just a video that was on World Star Hip Hop about the $1 billion reselling sneaker industry. Go watch it before you want me to reference things. I got newspapers here of of sneaker sales and stuff like that I can go into my box. It's gonna take a little bit, but articles from years ago of sneakers, all types of sneakers, not only Nike, all types of sneakers selling at a rapid.
Yeah, but you are linking it to hip hop. The reselling sneaker culture is not just a hip hop thing. It's
I'm
also
not
it's a
I'm not
sports thing.
I'm not classifying it as only hip hop, but
You said mainly hip hop. I
mainly
disagree.
hip hop. Yes, if we're gonna put categories, hip hop is number one. That's it.
I disagree. I say it's sports.
I mean, that's come on, sports. You really gonna put sports?
Yes, if so you have to when people
That's
resell.
what you for the
Yeah,
sport that you play. You're gonna wear sneakers that match that.
but a lot of people that resell sneakers also play the sports. They also play basketball. A lot of basketball heads are sneaker heads as well. The sneaker heads now is not like it was back then.
Well,
Even think
that's
of people that's getting killed for sneakers outside of Nike
very minimal people getting killed over sneakers.
or robbed. It's still happening. In fact, there's a pickup on that.
So what happened in back in the days in New York where people used to get killed for starter jackets?
Okay, what's your point?
I mean, a minimum of people get killed for sneakers these days.
Now compared to then, you
Back
said
then,
it's not picking that much. I'm saying it's picking up.
I think it's the same rate.
I think it's the same, but even that's my point. You think they're getting killed for or robbed for Adidas or skateboard shoes?
If you know your sneakers, yes.
Okay, well, I don't know how it is in Florida, but I don't hear people getting robbed for skateboard shoes.
If they're exclusive,
Adidas.
people is that people don't know like the real like I'm saying the real people who are into sneakers who know about the skateboard sneakers that used to be popular years ago, they would
Right.
do it. But most people don't know about it. All people and that's it. Tell you the truth.
But that's the thing. I think sneaker culture is so big. It's a culture in itself that it could be, they resell and they participate in that with or without hip hop. I don't think it's hip hop driving it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see hip hop videos and I'm like, oh shit, I got to get those sneakers. Like it ain't like that anymore.
Not
If that's
anymore because it's just different now. I think now more people worrying about tight clothes and jeans and shirts.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a hip hop thing. I think it's a whatever style you feel comfortable, that's the shoe you're gonna get to fit your style. Whereas before, if I seen Jordan on the court or if I seen this rapper with these sneakers, I'm buying them. I don't think it's like that now.
Yeah, because videos don't come. They don't even make videos anymore.
That's my point. So I don't think hip hop outside of Nike is a big driver of sneaker sales.
I think it's a main. I think it's a big factor in sneaker sales.
It's a factor, definitely a big factor, but I don't know. I think it's a matter of lifestyle. If I exercise and I work out, I'm gonna get the best running sneaker. You know what I'm saying?
So now back to Michael Jordan, man. What's the hate on him, man?
The most inflated player in basketball.
Inflated? You think so?
Yeah, he's definitely not the best at all.
Even when you have the people who are the best say he is the best.
Like who?
Magic Johnson,
Magic Johnson just
Shaq,
started. Yeah, he wasn't saying that before.
because it was a competition thing. When you have Magic, when you have Steve Smith, when you have Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kobe. Come on, man.
Magic is only saying that because he's on TV more, commentating. He wasn't saying that before.
Listen, no, no. Listen to his interviews lately. When you seen him on the, I don't know if it,
Blake,
I don't know if it was on the Breakfast Club or was it on some other show. He said, hands down, hardest player, number one player he ever played against was Michael Jordan.
he's saying
Hands
that
down.
now. Saying that now. He wasn't.
No
If you look at older interviews, he didn't say Jordan was the best.
competition. That's back in the days. I mean, watch. Oh, man, are you gonna start watching people the sports interviews?
I
Are you gonna,
have. The real greats, they don't even consider Jordan the best.
who?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Because they're haters. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a great basketball player himself. What are you talking about?
he's the greatest of all time.
Uh,
Wilt Chamberlain doesn't consider Michael the best, and he had a good point. He said when the game makes rules just because of your play, then you could say you're the best. I said, oh, that's a good point. This is Wilt
they,
Chamberlain.
come on. I
See,
mean,
huh?
they changed the rules on him because he was dunking.
Nah, no. He said when you're a player and the game changes rules because of how you play, then you could say you're the best. That
Jo-
didn't happen with Jordan. They did the opposite. They lifted the rules so Jordan can shine.
I think you're just hating on Jordan right now because of the way he acts towards black people. But you can put all
Nah,
that all that aside. But basketball wise, I mean his his play was his play, man.
you can ask white people. They'll tell you. They say there's no other person in NBA history that got as many fouls on other players when he drove in to shoot. Not one player. Jordan has the most foul called against people guarding him than anyone in NBA history.
Hey, we can bring our stats. We can do this. We can talk about his points. We can talk about his 6 championships he never lost in the NBA playoffs. We can talk about
Why?
his defense. When you have people like Dumars, when you have people like the whole Detroit Pistons saying Jordan was the best player they ever played against. Come on,
Nah, they don't. Who? John Sally doesn't say that. Isaiah Thomas doesn't say that.
Isaiah Thomas, go watch it. Go watch Isaiah Thomas interview lately, 2015, 2000. The only reason why Isaiah Thomas doesn't like Jordan because he thinks Jordan is the one that told the NBA not to put him in the Olympics, right or wrong.
Um,
Right.
allegedly.
No, that's what he said though, right?
I don't think he said I don't like Jordan because he stopped me from going to the Olympics. That was a
Uh,
conclusion that was
watch.
wrong.
Oh, watch. Oh man, I know you like to see people coming up from their own mouth, but if you watch the interview that I watched, he said it out of his mouth.
I seen the whole Olympic special, right? I seen that, and I seen interviews with Isaiah Thomas. He didn't like the
2015, you see the 2015 interview he did with that was a whole bunch of him and basketball players.
but see, look what you're doing. You're doing a recent thing. Recently, these people are saying that Jordan is the best. If you
Yeah,
go,
because they came to their senses and like, you know what, he was a good ass player.
because the media must praise Jordan because
No.
when Jordan is still a man. But if you compare Jordan to other players like Kareem, Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, they actually are better than Jordan, whether it's statistics or performance. And every time you call a Jordanite out on things like this, they always move the bar and try to create whole new reasons as to why he's the best. He's not the all-time scorer. He doesn't have the most rings. He doesn't have the most MVPs. He doesn't have the most all-star appearances. So what criteria are we given for the best? And
Jordan
he has a team on
Jordan is a
Chicago.
game changer, man.
Huh?
Jordan is a game changer, man.
Is he a game changer? I was a game changer when in the playoffs, and during his career after the Pistons when he was getting bodied, the referees designed the whole game to let Jordan fly. If you look at old clips, no one even touched Jordan and they was calling a foul.
We can say that about a lot of people. We can say that about Kobe.
Yeah, do you know why? Because Jordan set the tone. If you look at the NBA before Michael Jordan, that never happened. Never happened. Never. Before now after the Pistons bodied him, the NBA changed. They called more fouls.
This is all hearsay, man.
It's a fact. You could, and it ain't a black thing. In fact, you got more white people saying it than black, I'm sure. They're telling you how the whole NBA was rigged to let Jordan go through the lane. And every time a foul was called on Jordan, he would cry like a baby.
You were watching basketball in the '90s, weren't you?
Yeah, and every single time he went, a damn foul would be called, and no one touched him.
He wasn't a good player. He wasn't a great player.
He was a great player, but the question is he the greatest? And he's not, because there's players that did more than him without having a bias in the NBA.
They called Muhammad Ali the greatest boxer ever. You think he's the greatest boxer ever?
By far.
Oh, after he got knocked down, what, 4 times?
Okay.
Knocked down 4 times?
What does that mean? Being knocked down doesn't mean that you're not the greatest.
Oh, but I mean, how he's considered the greatest? He lost. There's people with better records than him. So you can't say he's the best because he got the best record.
Yeah, but champions lose. Having the best record doesn't make you the best. I don't think the Golden State Warriors are the best team ever. This year's Golden State, they got the best record. It's not about record. It's not about rings. It's about what the individual athlete did during their career. So who did what Muhammad Ali did in his sport of boxing better than he did, even though he got knocked down?
Your boy Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis? Wow.
Nah,
Who
the thing with Muhammad Ali is I talk to people who are avid boxers and they say no matter what, Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer. So I can't even fight with that one.
It's uncontested. It's uncontested. No matter what frame of reference, no matter what stat, it's uncontested. You can't say
You
that
gonna
with
tell me you gonna tell me you're not gonna have a bunch of white people say Rocky Marciano wasn't the best boxer who never lost a fight in the
yeah.
racist era when he's supposed to lose but didn't lose because he was white.
But what standard are we going off of? Who did he fight? Who
Oh,
did he beat?
Rocky Marciano fought a lot of people, man.
Who did he fight? What greats did he fight?
I don't know, but people say he's one of the greatest.
You're not talking about race. Muhammad Ali is the
I
greatest.
said, I said, people say he's one of the greatest. I didn't say race.
You mentioned Rocky Marciano for a reason, and then
Yeah, Rocky Marciano. They say he's the greatest boxer ever.
who's they? He's one of the greats.
People, number
Yeah,
one.
but who did he fight? What champions did he beat? Muhammad Ali beat champions.
Uh,
That's
we can look back and
Marciano didn't beat anyone of any caliber compared to Muhammad Ali. We don't even know the greats that he beat.
who?
Rocky Marciano.
Oh, I didn't watch boxing back then, and I'm not really that big of a boxing fan to tell you who fought who.
Yeah, but
But
even
people say Rocky Marciano should be up there too.
yeah, but it's all opinion. But if you lay a standard out, it's uncontested. Jordan is seen as the greatest because of media hype and media inflation. But as soon as you question it, you get crucified. What makes him the greatest? What did he do
That
that other players didn't do that makes him the greatest?
he changed the game of basketball.
How did he change the game? He changed the game of marketing in basketball. How did he change the actual game of basketball?
Yo,
What did he?
he was a trendsetter, man. He's the one who came out with the big shorts. he
Right, exactly. See, we look at everything other than what's played on the court. We look at marketing and trends. That's how he changed the NBA. And that was by design from Davis
listen.
and NBA. But if you look at skills, what did he do skill wise that other players didn't do to make him the greatest?
We don't play basketball like that, but when I
Oh,
hear
see,
when
cop
no,
outs.
no,
It's
no,
all
no. When I hear great people like Magic Johnson, he
come
said,
on, man.
"You,
This
I
is
mean,
that
you
right
can make up your own.
now.
You could go back and forth all day. You can say, oh, he doesn't own these records and that records. The same way Muhammad Ali didn't own the best records. It doesn't matter. It's going to be opinions. I thought he was a great player. Do I care if he's the greatest player? He's one of the greatest players. How about that?
That's a better statement. The reason why it's important is because it's you know what it is? It's the whole Jordan propaganda that actually spills over to people purchasing Jordans. Um, all of this frenzy on putting a high premium on sneakers, all of that is because of this marketing that's been done since Jordan came in the league. And that shit has negative impacts. Where we put shit like a sneaker where someone will pay $25,000 for some Yeezys. All of that came from Jordan in the NBA, and that has a negative impact because when you put stuff like Jordan over other things, that's more value. You got a culture in which you don't value anything that's worthwhile.
But don't you think people put their own values on things? There's people who don't give a fuck about the shoes.
Yeah, but that doesn't negate the negative impact that it does have, and that's by design. And that design goes when you speak out against Jordan in the media, and you got even greats that never would have said he's the best, but say it now because they'll either get fined or they'll get looked down upon. That trickles down into everyday life. When you interact with people, and the premium that they put on stuff is a low level type of value system. All of that stems from the big marketing machine of Jordan and the NBA, and you have to look at that. And that's why I question this whole Jordan is the greatest because it's not about the fact. You can have an opinion, yes, but when it becomes this whole, it's a religion. It's a Jordan religion where if you say anything that he's not the greatest, it's taboo, and that trickles down in marketing and people's perceptions.
Well, I think he was a great player. I mean, you can say he was better than this person. He was a great player, right or wrong.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
he was a
that's
great
it.
player. I don't. All right, he's not the greatest though.
Isn't that subjective though, right?
It is subject. Well, actually, they have numbers for it. They call statistics. So statistically, which is a factual thing, is he the greatest? That's not an opinion.
It depends and what stats.
Ah,
But if you want to put it stat wise, that's what you're gonna say. But me personally, I mean, I was fortunately able to to watch Jordan play, and he was a great player, man.
he was a great player. I give him that. He's definitely top 10.
Top five, top
Since,
three.
since we're not going on stats and facts, yes, emotionally, he could be top 5. It's possible. Dr. J doesn't even put him there.
Cause Dr. J is a hater too, man.
Okay, okay.
He's a hater. I mean, I'm not gonna put Dr. J in front of Jordan.
I put Kareem in front of Jordan.
Kareem, yeah. I mean, he played 25 years, right? So his numbers eventually gonna go up, right?
Oh, there you go. See,
I
there we
mean,
go.
he
The,
did play 25 years, right?
there you go with the 25 years. Is all see anything against Jordan? It's like you move the criteria further back.
No,
So
but it's more of a hate thing than man. They even put Shaq over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
they have a right to say Shaq might be better than Jordan.
Nah, you playing around now.
No, I'm very serious. They changed the game of basketball because of Shaquille O'Neal. period. That old zone defense and getting rid of the illegal defense, purely Shaq and maybe Allen Iverson. That's when you know you're great. When you're so feared, they alter the rules to try to stop your style of play. And see, this is important too because the NBA is rigged anyway. And Jordan is the one where the NBA started to become fixed and rigged because they let Jordan do whatever he wanted.
No, I think basketball was rigged and fake before Jordan, man.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't.
I mean, didn't you
I
watch
don't.
the 60, the 30 from 30 for ESPN when they had the mafia rigging the college basketball games in the 70s?
Well, college, yeah, college is definitely dirty.
Then
College is definitely dirty.
it's going to trickle down to the NBA?
I don't see it trickling down before Jordan.
I do.
Okay, I know with Jordan and all those damn fouls that weren't called and that bogus fouls that were called against his defenders, I've never seen that happen in the NBA. And I grew up watching the Lakers. That's why they're my favorite team. Watching the Pistons smack the Bulls. I've never seen that until the year when Jordan won the first championship and after that. Prior to that, I never seen it. Never
Man,
seen it.
did you watch when the Lakers played the Kings in the playoffs? That all them bullshit calls they made on the Lakers?
You talking about post Jordan, right? Of course. See what I'm saying?
Garbage, man. The Lakers should have lost, man.
But that's my point. But that came after the Jordan era.
So you gonna
Before that,
blame so you gonna blame it
huh?
on Jordan, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on, they shouldn't have beat the Kings. You know, just like the Celtics shouldn't have beat the Lakers in that. And I think what was it? '08. All of that started with Jordan, man. If you look at all of the man, they even got it on 60 Minutes how the referee said this shit was rigged. And they always go from Jordan era up. Never before. Never before. Anytime you talk about this shit being rigged and referees cheating and it being like
It's a,
obvious that the refs are bugging, it starts from the Jordan era up.
no. I think you have to it goes way before that. I think it was easier to rig games before the Jordan era than it was after the. Even though they still did it, I think they.
Yo, I seen videos where they analyzed Jordan's scoring in the playoffs and even during the season. And they said, had it not been for all the times he went to the free throw line, half those scoring titles he would have never won. No other player are they saying that for.
Hey, he still made them with his eyes closed though, so he has skills.
He went to I think it was one game, he went like 25 times to the free throw line. He went more than, that's crazy. Every season, he went to the free throw line like amongst the most of all players. If you subtract those, he wouldn't even have those scoring titles. Come on, man, that's suspect. In fact, even Magic Johnson's joked about it. He said, you can't get too close to Michael, might be a foul.
It might be true, man.
And that's why I say he's hype.
Still can't deny his skills though.
He's top 10.
Top five, top three.
In fact, speaking of NBA and Hillary, I posted something on Facebook. It showed that every time Eastern Conference has won the finals, a Democrat has been president.
Well, if the Cleveland come back and win, it'll be another rigged NBA championship. But Golden State has this in their back pockets.
I have no comment now. I'm officially, I was a LeBron hater. I'm officially on the LeBron train.
Man, enough about basketball, man. What's your thoughts about Taxstone, man? Do you think he has something to do with the whole Troy Ave thing? I know you're in New York, so you can hear more news about that shit.
Well, I don't want to contribute to snitching now.
Now you, we on the hater. What's his name? Star, huh? You don't want to talk about that Star shit.
Big up the star, the hater. Uh, a
Oh man.
40-year-old Chinese lady did
And that's hilarious. That dude is funny as hell. He missed a couple of episodes because he had to put his guinea pig to rest, man. I mean,
Nah, I mean, I don't want to contribute to that, but it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say.
I think people like taxstone are detrimental to hip hop itself.
Okay, now you hating.
I am a hater, man, because I watch listen to his podcast and stuff like that, and the same thing we talked about last week about that tough man thing is what he's known for, and I think he brings negativity out in people.
But you know what though? I think if not tax stone, I think him bullying the bullies, I think that's needed because you got a lot of people going around here talking that tough shit, and then no one's checking them on it. So I think that's neat. That's necessary. So that's one part about tax stone I do like. You know what I mean? Like
So he got checked, and now he's now Troy Ave is real now.
allegedly checked. Allegedly,
You seen that video when he was hiding behind his bodyguard, man?
I couldn't make out if that was him or not.
Yo, he was hiding behind his bodyguard, man.
And that's another thing too, is that why are they only showing the same clip over and over again? Like that's the only place in the spot that had cameras.
That's why I don't trust the news, man.
That's what I mean. It doesn't make sense. You in Manhattan and you telling me the only footage you have is that one location? Come on, that's what I'm saying. It's suspect. All this is suspect.
And first they blamed it on him that he shot himself and then shot his bodyguard. Then they blamed it on Mano that he had beef with Mano, and then you had pictures with him and Mano chilling together. Then it was Uncle Murder, and then now is Taxstone. I don't even think they have their facts right, man.
That's why I think all of these events are scripted in advance.
I don't think that's scripted, man. I think it's just stupid shit happens.
Come on. Well, I don't see no other videos.
I don't
Why
think,
see a video of Troy Ave with a gun?
but he did shoot though, didn't
I mean, I wasn't there.
he? I mean, everything. How come everything has to be scripted? What makes Troy Ave so big of a person that he has to be scripted in this whole thing?
It's not about, see, you looking at the size of the artist. It's not about the size of the artist. If you got a little bit of notoriety, you could be used for anything.
Why everything gotta be a conspiracy theory?
Um,
Why can't
now,
it just be people doing stupid shit like people do on the average?
people do stupid shit. When I walk in the street and I see somebody talking to themselves and they're swinging in the air, you know, that's them. Yes, that's 100% real. But when I'm watching television, that's a whole different story because they're playing the same thing over and over again. And these things are scripted. These things are scripted. Everything is numerology and astrology. And the reason why it sounds far-fetched is because it's done so well. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We started this Bill Clinton doing a eulogy for Muhammad Ali. Come on. You're gonna tell me that's just happened?
I don't know, man. You have to ask the Ali family how that happened.
That don't even make sense, man. That don't even make sense.
Hey, man, I'm not with that conspiracy theory stuff, man. It's supposed to happen.
I hear you. If you believe that, you know what I
It's
mean?
supposed to happen, man. Bill Clinton is supposed to do one of the greatest boxers of all time, eulogy.
So you choose Bill Clinton, you telling me that's supposed to happen? Link me, Bill Clinton, to Muhammad Ali, and I'll concede and say it's supposed to happen. I don't even there's not even a link.
I don't know how it happened, man. You tell me, man. What numbers, what strategy did you see that it came in and put together that Bill Clinton is going to do Muhammad Ali's eulogy? I just
Well,
what
now you definitely you could put the numbers to all this stuff. You could put the numbers to all this. Nothing, I'm telling you, none of this stuff is by accident. It's not. It's not. It don't just happen. It doesn't just happen.
so things just doesn't happen.
Huh?
So things just don't happen ever.
They, yeah, I get up and then I trip and fall. That shit just happened. But
According to
nah,
Africa, if you hit your knee, it's because something probably was wrong with your knee. So you fell because something was wrong with your knee.
I mean, I didn't want to take it there. I was trying to be. You know, I was trying to be liberal, but come on, these events, do you know they got Purge, another Purge movie called The Election Year?
I think they do that shit on purpose, man.
Now, come on, man.
You know, it
But
takes a year for a movie to come out, a year or 2 years.
if you do the numbers to all of this, it's not by accident. All of these things having it. There's individuals that they have a timeline of events. You understand? And this is why I'm gonna start putting the faces to it, so it don't sound far fetched. And that's why the first video, I actually put the faces to it. You know why I know for beyond a reasonable doubt that this shit is scripted? If you look at the IMF president, she has a whole video where she starts off saying, "I'm gonna give you a lesson in numerology." Now, why the hell would the IMF president start her speech off by giving a numerology lesson? And the whole first 5 minutes is her doing events in numerology and timelines.
Can you before you let the people know what that means, the IMF?
International Monetary Fund. They are the guardians of the money that countries borrow. So when countries are asked out or IMF deems them asked out, they offer them loans in order to redevelop the country. But if these
You know what?
countries pay, they get down or lay down and they take out the leaders if they don't follow the instructions because they owe so much money.
We're gonna stop it right there because we're gonna talk about that one next week. Because you have to break that down even more because that has to do with the economic hitman, the confessions of an economic hitman, and I think we should let people know about that next week.
Right. But to check out how these shits is not scripted, the president of the IMF, YouTube it, Christine Lagarde, watch that video. It's not that long. She pretty much lays out how this thing is based on numbers and how things are planned based on numerology and astrology. Out of her own mouth.
Well, sounds like a plan. Yeah, you have to link that video when you post it up. Link it up to your onto your video, and then just put that link in the description box when you to that video that you watched.
I'm gonna link it definitely. I'm gonna link the greatest players above Jordan and how this NBA is rigged since the Jordan era.
You know, this year was the first year I really started watching basketball again, man. Because last couple of years, it's just been horrible, man.
It's been and you see, and that's how it works. They lose ratings, so they have to create shit. So they create Steph Curry's and all of this. I ain't even gonna get into the magnetic
Steph
rim.
Curry is nasty, man.
Okay, yeah, you're right. We should end there before I become a supreme hater.
Steph Curry is nasty,
I'm,
yo.
I'm not even gonna get into that.
I watch him play. I watched the whole um, Golden State Warriors play. That's a well built team, man. He's
See,
got he got skills in practice, and he had a dad growing up. So you can see how powerful having a dad growing up is. Most of the great players had a dad in the household. Am I correct?
that's very true. That's very true. That's true. I mean, no, that's true in like almost any kind of industry, sports, business. That's definitely true.
Well, we leave it there, man. It's been almost an hour, I think, probably a little bit more, over an hour. Don't forget
Definitely,
to link up that IMF lady.
definitely. I'm gonna link the video in the description.
All right, Steph Curry, next best player coming up. Peace.
We're gonna do a part two in a few weeks to that.
All right, then, man.
All right, man. Peace.